You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Wednesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
Man, yesterday sucked after the show. I fucked up on Tuesday night. You know, I had said, been drinking right? So I was feeding the dogs after we got home from dinner and, had some leftover, avocado slices in there.
Oh, okay.
And for some reason, I was like, I'll toss them to the dogs. Yo, I didn't know, and maybe someone's scoffing at me right now, oh, you dumbass. Apparently, avocados are super toxic to dogs.
Really?
So, yesterday when I got home from the show, Courtney was tripping because the dogs have been, shitting all over the place.
Oh, no.
Dude, and if you Google, avocados and dogs, it's just every article is don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
Do not, yeah,
It can cause, pancreatitis or whatever.
Right, yeah. Oh, that sucks. So, I'm assuming from the fact that you were here today...
I felt so stupid.
That they got better over the course, but you come home to a bit of a mess?
Oh, dude, yeah, they were just shitting all over the place. And it's weird because they wouldn't eat their food. And, my dog, Murphy, she's the kind of dog that's you could wake her up at 2 a.m. and she's going to eat.
Right.
She just inhales food, dude.
You know, it's crazy. Your dogs and me have the same trigger sign. If you ever want to know if I'm sick, just offer me food. If I don't eat it, something's wrong.
yeah.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Remember back when phones used to have keyboards built into them? Mm-hmm. They're coming back.
Why?
Well, not on phones, but this company here, they're called Clicks. They make cell phone cases for iPhones, Google phones, Samsungs, and even Motorola, which I didn't know still made Crazer phones in 2025.
Really?
But that's still a thing. Look at these things. That's a Motorola Crazer flip phone with a Clicks keyboard built into it.
Who asked for this?
Oh, dude, you not excited about that? I
really.
love that. I am already looking into getting one for my Google Pixel phone.
I feel like my thumbs were too fat. I'd always just press so many
Come on, let me see
different
your
buttons.
thumbs. You got normal-sized thumbs. How is this any worse than the little digital keyboard that's on your screen right now?
The thing's gonna break so easily too.
I don't know, man. Apparently, it's first of all, they're selling them for $50, so they better not break right away. They better be of some quality.
You actually missed the keyboard on your phone?
I liked having the keyboard. I used to have, what was it called? It was a BlackBerry Pearl. It didn't have the full keyboard, but it was still more than T9. I think every key was 2 letters instead of 3 to 4. And yeah, I liked being able to hit actual buttons. I felt like I made way less spelling mistakes.
I hated the sound of the buttons too when people were texting.
Okay, that I will agree with. That...
Yeah.
Every time someone would start hammering out,
sounded like someone with a weird tick,
dramatic email or something like that. Yes, if they could quiet the buttons down a little bit.
The only thing that I miss about my BlackBerry was the little nipple on it there.
The little track wheel?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
That was the original fidget spinner.
I was going to say.
I went through 3 of those on my phone.
As a couple of kids with ADHD, yeah, we probably both did the same thing.
Oh, the little BlackBerry nipple just rubbing that thing around? That's what I missed.
I don't know. Were you a smoker when you had your BlackBerry?
Yeah.
Because I was, and I ended up getting tobacco inside the trackball somehow.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even with the keyboards and stuff, I think technology has advanced itself.
But I mean, it's just we have these keyboards now and they're on the screen and there's no physical button. It's so easy to mistype or hit the wrong letter and it completely changes the mood of the text you're sending.
The only old thing I want back on my phone is a normal headphone jack.
That I will fully agree on.
I want a normal headphone jack and I want to be able to use wired headphones again.
The old iPhone white corded headphones.
Amazing.
The greatest headphones I've ever owned in my life. As a broadcast professional, I have spent hundreds of dollars on headphones and never gotten the same enjoyment as the ones that came free with my first iPhone.
I'll say it, and maybe this is a bold claim. Wired headphones way better than Bluetooth ever was. The sound felt better. Maybe I'm just nostalgic high right now.
Yeah. It's some way in the wire that makes it sound better. The
wire got bent up a little bit, and you're sitting on the school bus, and you're trying to hold the wire in the right way to get the perfect sound.
Dude, trying to tilt the part that goes into the actual ear so that it would the wires would all line up so you could hear all of the song.
Kids are worried about charging their AirPods. They don't know the struggle.
They don't know what it was like to reach into your pocket and take out the headphones you very neatly wrapped up before you put them in there, only to find them a thicket of brambles somehow all knotted up.
Yeah.
Magic in your pocket.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We were talking about technology that you miss. A lot of people seem to agree with the headphones thing.
Yeah, there's just something, you know what, it's another thing that I was thinking about, is that you could fidget with the cord. You shouldn't. It dramatically decreased the life of your headphones.
Well, it's the same thing with having like a wired telephone in your house, right?
Dude, that was, I don't know what it was, but there was something about being rooted to one place. Like the phone only existed in one part of your house. You couldn't just be mobile with it. And you'd sit there and you'd twist up the cord and play with it, stretch it out, watch it snap back into place.
Even having like an old home phone that you actually had to like click down to hang up, or even an old flip phone just to be able to aggressively end a phone call and be like, all right, bye, click.
Well, even you look like Samsung, Google, all these massive cell phone companies are making flip phones again, which just goes to show that people want to angrily hang up their phones again.
Yeah.
We've been yearning for it.
You can't click your iPhone anymore without smashing the screen.
No, it's a bad idea to slam your cell phone down on a desk or something.
We've got a friend of the show, Mike, on the phone. Mike, what's up, buddy?
Thinking about with technology that doesn't really exist anymore. An MP3 player, just strictly an MP3 player.
You know, that's true. Because, like, I've got music on my phone and I've got Spotify and all that other stuff. I can listen to music. But sometimes, like, it was just nice having just that little MP3 player, and its only job was to be there when you wanted to listen to bangers.
Yeah, but then you were so sick of the, 60 songs that you'd listen to on repeat after a while.
Yeah, but then you had LimeWire to download everything off of it, too.
That's right. Absolutely. You started to get bored of the small memory that you had. You just went on your parents' computer and risked their whole financial freedom by downloading the first file you could find.
Mm-hmm.
I miss downloading a song and getting that Bill Clinton clip of I did not have sexual relations with that woman, but I did in fact buy a stereo from her.
Those are the days.
Those were the good times.
Yeah, giving your family's computer aids.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Timmy's brought back the actual roll up the rim earlier this week, and I was thinking, if you win roll up the rim, but someone else bought you a coffee,
like on the physical cup roll,
do you have to split the prize or give the prize to that person?
I don't know if this has actually ever been settled like in a court of law, but I feel like arbitration would side with, I gave you the cup with the coffee in it. It now becomes your property unless I write something out. Like, imagine writing out a contract before you give someone a coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, I bought you a double-double. I'm just going to need you to sign this waiver real quick.
Because it's technically a gift, so there's no takesy-backsies, right?
It's the same. It's almost like Christmas rules, right? If I put a scratch ticket or a 649 ticket in your Christmas present, and then you win $40 million or whatever, I gave you that ticket. I have no legal entitlement to it. Now, if you win $10,000 or whatever the prize is this year on a cup that I gave you, and you don't give me something, you're a dick. But you're not obligated to.
I think what you should do is if someone buys you a coffee for roll up the rim, I think you drink it very slowly.
Okay.
Until they're out of your way, and then you roll it up.
Well, rolling it up in front of them is dicey, yes, because that's just begging for drama. If I roll it up in front of you, and I win.
If someone wins a coffee or a muffin, though, get bent. You can't ask for anything back.
I've seen that. I've seen people. I've worked with people in radio, and radio people are notoriously cheap, who will bring in coffee for everybody and then say, if you win anything, you have to give it back to me. And they'll go and collect the free coffee, free donut. And it's how bad is life that you're hey, Did you just win a free $2 coffee? Give it here. Give it to me. That's mine.
I think if you win anything in general, it's yours. They've gifted it to you. I mean, like, you can't drop off a kid for adoption and then show up on draft day. You know what I mean? Like,
you can. They try. But again, no obligation.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
what do you think? If someone buys you Timmy's and you win one of the Roll Up the Rim prizes, should you split it with them?
Well, I wouldn't expect the prize myself. But I would be like secretly hating them and being like, I wish I had kept that for myself.
What if I
like,
just gave you the $2 for the coffee back at least?
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be nice, or at least, something would be nice. But, like, it's the same with, like, the McDonald's prizes. You know how you, like, peel them and you get the codes or whatever? Like, my boyfriend ordered the McDonald's, so I gave him all the codes. Had I ordered, I would have taken all the codes. But when it comes down to a big prize, like, I don't know. I think, when it's something like that, like, you're in a relationship, like, what are you going to do? But I don't know. If somebody, like, at work just buys you a coffee, it would be weird for them to be like, well, that's my prize now.
Going back to the McDonald's thing, if you're buying me lunch and I'm like, hey, can I get the points for this? Is that frowned upon?
I don't think so. I think that's actually, I don't know.
Is it illegal to stand in the drive-thru as people are going by and you just go, say my code?
Yeah. Handing out your Optimum card?
Yeah.
Instead of asking for change, you're asking for codes?
Yeah, just go to Loblaws and just give people your PC card.
Stand down by the change machine, and every time you hear somebody go, oh, I don't have PC points, go, I do!
Hey, now.
I do!
Now you're on to something with the PC points. Now we're talking.
This PC point panhandling.
I'm all about that.
In this economy? Why the hell not, dude?
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, give me those scene points as well while we're at it.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It's time for Brock and Dalby's Draft.
All right, today we are going to do the bad draft of the greatest diss tracks in rock and roll. And if you don't think there's diss tracks in rock music, we're going to prove you wrong here this morning.
Well, you're just not paying attention. Rock and roll is full of people who hate each other, including some who are in the same bands together, which is honestly hilarious to me. And I do have first overall pick, so I am going to start with the probably greatest rivalry band of people who spend a lot of time together. I'm going to take some Fleetwood Mac, and I'm going to go with Go Your Own Way.
Good pick.
I mean, you got to, if you're going to talk about rock rivalries, you have to talk about Fleetwood Mac.
Very ironic, because for my pick, I am also going to go with Fleetwood Mac. Now, that song was about Stevie Nicks.
Yes.
Stevie Nicks decided to write a song about Lindsay, and that song is Dreams. To be in that band at that time, both of these songs on the same record.
Yeah.
They're touring around after a breakup, putting out back-to-back hit songs
Bangers.
About each other.
Well, and like, with Go Your Own Way, it's about Stevie Nicks, but it's her vocals that do such a great job of the song.
Yeah, it's so messed up.
I remember reading about Dreams was like, she had the rough version of the song and it was missing something, and it was Buckingham that came in and wrote some of the accompaniment that brought it to the next level.
Yeah.
They hated each other.
Why couldn't my parents' divorce be like that? What's your number 2 pick?
All right, for number 2, I had to sit and think about this because with rock and roll diss tracks, there are some different angles to go at. But I think one of the most iconic lyrics that's just a straight up name drop jab at someone else comes from Skynyrd in Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, because Neil Young talked a lot of smack about the South and stuff, right?
Southern man don't need him around anyhow.
It's a ballad, dude.
It's a jam. It's a line, man. It's great.
Coming in at my second pick here, I'm going to go with Aerosmith's Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Yeah.
I think it was one of their producers had went to like the Viper Room or some bar in LA, and he was standing there and he looked around and he thought he saw one of the most beautiful girls of all time. And it turned out to be Vince Neil of Motley Crue.
With the long, flowing blonde hair.
Yeah.
That dude looked like a lady.
That's a diss track.
All right, third final pick. I went back and forth, and I had a couple ideas, but I think a song written as a just full straight up diss track to the police department in general is my third pick, and it's Rage Against the Machine. The whole thing written in the aftermath of the Rodney King to just be like, all cops are bastards. What a diss track.
Coming in at number 3 for me, this is just my personal favorite, honestly, but I put it at number 3. Blink-182's Man Overboard. Which, if you don't know...
I don't know.
Travis Barker is not the original drummer of Blink-182.
Right.
There's a guy named Scott Rayner that was in the band, and they gave him the weekend. He had been drinking too much. And they told him, we're going to give you the weekend to figure things out. Travis Barker was touring with the Aquabats, who was opening for Blink-182.
Yes.
They had him fill in. Within the weekend, Scott Rayner came back and said, I'm going to put down the bottle. And they said, no. You're already replaced. And then on their very next album, they made this song, and even the last lyrics of the song are...
Damn.
And that's how they kicked him out of the band.
Had no idea. That is savage.
Blink-182 comes off as this fun-loving little band.
Right?
Kind of a dick move.
All right, my top 3 rock diss tracks. I've got Go Your Own Way from Fleetwood Mac. I've got Lynyrd Skynyrd, Sweet Home Alabama, taking shots at Neil Young. And then I've got Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name.
I've got Dreams from Fleetwood Mac, opposite to yours. I've got Dude Looks Like a Lady in at number 2. And I've got Blink-182's Man Overboard.
Crazy that we did rock diss tracks and neither of us took You're So Vain by Carly Simon. Like the original diss track.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
For the first time in 2025.
Second time.
Is it the second time?
You won the very first draft of the year.
Feels like forever ago. I'm catching a W this morning.
Yeah, you won the first draft, which was about songs you can strip to. And now you've got diss tracks. So there's a theme here.
A lot of people are mad at us because we didn't have one Courtney Love diss track on there.
There was honestly, it was one of those situations where I felt like there was too many to just pick one.
I mean, there's the Foo Fighters All Stick Around, of course. You've also got 9 Inch Nails, which is Star 3825ers Incorporated.
Yes.
And then don't forget about Gwen Stefani's Holla Back Girl.
Right. That one I do often forget about. Probably the best of the bunch.
Bananas. I will not have you disrespect Gwen Stefani. She is a national treasure.
What for America?
For everyone.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Did you see? I know this is exciting news for me. They are looking at doing another Tony Hawk Pro Skater remake.
Oh yeah, March 4th is the big announcement, right?
Yeah. So it's they already did Tony Hawk 1 and 2 a couple years ago, re-released for all the modern consoles. Now it's going to be Tony Hawk 3+4, they're calling it.
Has that been officially confirmed, or is that still the rumor?
It's not officially confirmed, but you know how video games all have those like parental ratings, like rated T for teen and stuff like that?
Yeah.
A Tony Hawk 3+4 got rated for the Nintendo Switch and various other platforms.
Sick.
So there's at least something that Activision, the publishing company, has sent to the ratings boards to say, we're making this game, give it a parental rating, which that feels to me like pretty good sign.
Tony Hawk's been posting a lot on social media. He posted a photo with like him, Rodney Mullen, Eric Costin, Kareem Campbell, Steve Caballero. I don't know if anybody knows these names.
Right.
They were all in the video games.
Absolutely. If you play the games, or if you were a skateboarder, then these names mean a lot to you.
And the soundtracks were so good.
That's the thing. Is my only worry is the soundtracks for Tony Hawk 1 and 2, the original games, were some of the greatest albums ever printed. When they did the 1+2, they kind of tried to modernize the soundtrack. Like there was like Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah,
and stuff
they put
on
new stuff in there.
It wasn't the same, and I'm hoping they learn their lesson because I'm looking at the soundtracks for 3 and 4 back in the day, and they were bangers.
Oh yeah,
dude, the Ramones, Chili Peppers, Motorhead, Rollins, House of Pain, Exhibit, Alien Ant Farm, Redman, AFI, Horton Heat, that's just 3. That's just on Tony Hawk 3.
I've said it before on the show. Tony Hawk Pro Skater is the reason why I'm into all the music. It's that in those NHL games from the early 2000s.
That's just it. Like, it's crazy to think. Everybody wants to talk about, like, video games will rot your brain. video games cause violence and all that other stuff. No, video game soundtracks cause your whole musical taste for the rest of your life.
But even take away video games from like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like just growing up skateboarding culture had such an influence on me, whether it was the Tony Hawk games or just watching skate videos. Like the music of that whole kind of genre of sport, it's all over the place, whether you're a rock fan, a punk fan, a metal fan, or a rap fan.
Well, that's just it. Like, skater culture is so diverse with the people who are in it, and then also with the music that surrounds it. Skater culture is the reason, the music of skater culture is the reason that I tried the one singular time I ever did to ride a skateboard. Because I was like, listening to all this music, discovering all this music as a kid, and being like, I want to be cool like these people. And then I got my hands on a penny board and I busted my ass on the hill down by my house.
That's not skateboarding, but okay.
No, but I mean, that was, hey, as a young kid in Grand Prairie, Alberta at the time, it was all I had, all right? The skateboard was the size of my right foot, and I immediately hurt myself. So I went inside and did the responsible thing and just listened to punk albums instead.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We've had a few people texting in talking about how pro wrestling has always been like top tier soundtracks.
For sure. But it wavers that line of like, is it a sport?
Well, and I fully agree with that. That's, it's the entertainment side more than the athleticism.
The music has always been sick, from the pay-per-views to the entrances. Dude, they've had some solid bands do stuff.
Remember back in the day, and you have to be a wrestling fan in a certain era to remember this, but they were building up to a WrestleMania between Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock.
Limp Bizkit.
And it was My Way by Limp Bizkit, and like, it's cinema, the video packages.
Well, even you go to, WrestleMania 19, Limp Bizkit playing out The Undertaker.
When he was riding out on the motorcycle. Yeah, I mean, some of those Motorhead coming out and doing live performances.
Humanity peaked when Limp Bizkit played for The Undertaker live.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that being the high water mark.
I am.
SPC.
I'm fine with it. What would you think? What would you say for like baseball? Like what music do you think of when you think of baseball? Do you just think of dent, dent, dent?
Kind of it, right? Like, I don't associate. I have the Boys of Summer, Don Henley or the Ataris. I can take both.
And then that one from The Simpsons, we're talking baseball.
Talking softball is obviously the greatest song of all time from any television show. Sort of like I get like an orchestral vibe thinking about like Field of Dreams. But really, if I think baseball, I just think about dudes hammering the organ during the seventh inning stretch. Right, like the baseball charge stuff, or like hearing your favorite song but redone on an organ.
What about football? What do you think about football?
Football, I always think of the scene in Any Given Sunday where the locker room is divided between like one guy's trying to play like Jay-Z and the other guy's trying to play Metallica. And it's kind of that mix of like rock rap. Like Jay-Z Linkin Park, the mashup album, is almost like my brain thinking of football.
I think you got to get into college football because I just think of the big band music.
Marching band is sick.
For me, hockey, I always think of like AC/DC or like, what's that? Hey,
jock jams. Yeah, like, because there's definitely... That's really good. Also, covering the Edmonton Oilers professionally for a few years at the beginning of my radio career, when I think hockey, I cannot help but think of Cotton Eye Joe by Rednecks.
Yeah. Just all those like stadium anthem stuff. Like,
yeah, the stuff that comes on when they're just like, all right, this crowd isn't
like,
loud enough.
Sandstorm.
Yeah.
I will say, I think soccer has the best music just because of the fans and the chants that they make.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because I was thinking like actual music. The only thing I think of is when Shakira did that World Cup song.
Yeah.
Ole for Africa or whatever.
No. I don't know if you've ever looked up like soccer fan chants. Dude. They can call a player a "see you next Tuesday" and they can make it sound fantastic.
60,000 people saying the most offensive thing all in unison.
They can talk about hooking up with your mom.
Yeah.
Make it sound beautiful.
And everybody there is just like, oh, we're just having fun. Yeah. Nobody gets mad. Nobody gets offended until they burn the building down.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
A couple was taking a flight from Australia to Qatar. When about halfway through the flight, the person in their row died.
Jesus.
And, well, the airline didn't know what to do, so they just kept the person in the seat in the same row as them throughout the rest of the flight until they landed.
Do you at least, like, put a blanket Like are they just like Weekend at Bernie's sitting up in the seat?
And we talked about this an hour ago, and people were like, "Oh, you should have put them in like the cargo bin or something." But it's like
they're in the air.
Are you going to move a dead body around?
Well, I mean, first of all, yeah, nobody working on that plane is probably licensed or equipped for that moment.
Legally, I don't think you can move it, right?
I don't know. Especially over international waters, feels like everything's kind of legal, but at the same time, like, do they really have access to take a body while the plane is in the air? Is there a hatch they can just open up and be like, all right, now he's on top of all of your bags?
I just want to know, like, where were they? Did they have the window seat or did they have the aisle seat? If they had the aisle seat, it's even worse.
I mean, at that point, regardless of the legalities or the ethics about moving a dead body, you slide him over to the window seat at least, right? Like, he can't be in the aisle.
Imagine if they had the middle seat between you.
Jesus, no, just take the plane down, put it in the ocean.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
What the hell did you say?
What the is that song?
What did he?
All right, let's go. We've got $100 in Lotto 649 tickets for tonight's jackpot on the line, and we will meow to you. If you can figure out our meows and tell us the song and the band, you will get that $100 Lotto 649 ticket.
Recognizing our melodic meows and giving us the name of the song and the artist could net you the $20 million gold ball jackpot tonight for Lotto 649, starting with winning $100 in tickets.
All right, we've got 3 contestants on the line. Remember, if they all fail, we will reopen up the phone lines and you can keep calling in. But we start with caller number 1. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. It's Tom.
Tom, who do you want, Brock or Dalby for the meow?
Give me Brock.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
That's so good.
What the meow?
I got nothing.
Nothing?
I got nothing.
All right, take care, buddy.
It's not the part of the song I thought you were going to go with, but it's so perfect.
If you know the song, you know it.
Yeah.
Caller number 2, who's this?
It's Billy.
Billy, all right, who do you want, Brock or Dalby?
We'll go Dalby.
All right. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
What the meow is that song?
I'm going to have to meow out.
Take care, buddy. All right, we move on here.
Like bow out. That's great.
Caller number 3, what's your name?
Chris.
Chris, Brock or Dalby for the meow?
I will go Brock again.
All right. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow.
Is that Flying High again by Ozzy?
Wow!
Friggin' right it is. Ding and a round of applause.
Nicely done.
And $100 in Lotto 649 tickets is yours, Chris. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah,
how fast did you pick it up? Did you get it right from the beginning?
Right from the start. At first, I thought it was Led Zeppelin's Cashmere.
Oh, see, I just used
the way he was doing his little meow, meow.
Meow, meow, meow. Congratulations, my dude. You get $100 in Lotto 649 tickets. If you do happen to win the big jackpot tonight, you got some nickels and dimes for the kitty cats over here, or what?
I'm sure we could shine up some pennies for you, boys.
Oh, hell
meow,
yeah.
meow, meow. All right, Chris, do us a favor and stay on hold, all right, buddy?
Sounds good.
All right, congratulations to him.
Oh, man, I didn't even get to go meow, 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 meow.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Leave a message on the bad line anytime, 1-833-854-2233. We got this one last night.
Hey, boys. Smoked the lefty and had a weird thought last night. How come there's a band named Tool, but there's not bands named after Tool? You know? But didn't Sawzall be a sick metal band name?
Oh.
I don't know. Just saying.
Sawzall would be a sick you could picture it in that metal font too.
Right, yeah, very much like a Ride the Lightning-esque kind of.
I will say, I'm trying to think. I know there's that Canadian metal band called Crowbar.
Oh, God, I haven't thought about Crowbar.
I feel like there's a band that's called Sledgehammer.
Wasn't there maybe it was one of those like mockumentaries, but wasn't there an Anvil?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a metal band too.
I want to say, yeah.
But you know what? Angle Grinder would be a sick metal band name, too.
Angle Grinder, the Pistons.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
Nail Gun, Drill Bit.
Yeah.
Even if you were like, we're the drywall screws. Like, the merch that you could have, like, naming your band after a tool is just endless.
Torque Wrench.
Yeah, right?
It would be sick.
Even if you start naming bands after trades, I mean, like, there's that old band, what is it, the Carpenters, right?
Yeah, you're right.
But if you were like, HVAC...
But then you'd have to come up with what HVAC stands for in terms of your band.
But then all your merch is just like, you sell like furnace filters and stuff like that?
Dude, furnace filters with your band's logo printed on them, which then makes them inefficient.
If you're like the plumbers, you could sell like plungers and stuff. Everyone on stage has their ass crack hanging out.
Let me see your plungers in the air.
Certified forklift operator, I would go see that band.
That would be sick.
And then they hand out little cards.
Yeah. Hey, you are all officially certified.
The Roofers, the ultimate party band.
God,
there's no teeth at that concert.
This is the Brock and Delby podcast.
Would you rather?
Wednesday. Would you rather Wednesday?
All right, let's go. Let's get weird. 762-555. You can still send your would you rather questions in. Someone said, would you rather have unlimited bacon but no video games, or unlimited video games but no bacon?
This is an internet thing that I have never understood.
I don't play a lot of video games, so give me the bacon.
Right, and I think that's just the right answer. Like, it would be weird to never play video games again, but unlimited bacon means you have food
also
for the rest of your life.
Also, if you're a parent who hates your kids playing video games, that means there's no video games allowed in your house, technically.
Yeah, theoretically, because then you wouldn't be able to go near them.
Exactly.
So just bacon all the way. Even as somebody who owns 3 different modern gaming consoles and a PC, bacon. For sure it's bacon.
You could start selling bacon?
That's just it. Unlimited bacon is a boon into itself. Mm-hmm. You would have to be dumb to not pick it.
What's another one here? Someone said, would you rather never use condiments again or only use relish as the only condiment you can use for the rest of your life?
Oh, I mean, if the only condiment I have is relish, I'm already using no condiments.
I'm not going to lie. I don't think I've ever tried relish just because it looks disgusting to me.
I've tried it. I mean, once you go to the grocery store, and for a while there, it was like everything came in that mustard ketchup relish 3-pack. I've tried it before. I don't get it. I like pickles. I should like relish. It's horrific. It's the worst condiment in existence.
Even when it squirts out of the bottle, it's just the way it oozes. It's,
when you watch like a video of like someone making a hot dog and it's like, yeah, mustard, ketchup, relish. No, never. Mm-hmm. I would rather eat no condiments. Bare, dry-ass food forever.
Relish may be green, but it's a red flag. Someone said, would you rather be in the Elimination Chamber or a TLC match? Tables, ladders, and chairs, for those who don't know.
So for those that don't watch wrestling, the Elimination Chamber is basically a cage match where 4 out of the 6 wrestlers start like locked in a little pod. And so I would pick the Elimination Chamber, and then I would just try and jam it so that they couldn't open my pod. And I'll lose the match, and I'll just stay in there and watch.
Hey, when I watch WWE, people kick those things in.
No, that's true. Yeah, it would be terrifying to be in there. It's basically being in a shark cage full of jacked up, muscle-bound dudes. Mm-hmm. But the alternative is being in a contest where people can hit you with tables, ladders, and chairs.
I'll say this, though. Every time I ever watched any sort of ladder match in the WWE, they always take their sweet time climbing that ladder.
That's true. If you could be a wrestler and live in the world of professional wrestling, but climb ladders at a human speed,
you're going to be fine.
You would win every single match. You just demand every match in your contract is a ladder match, and then you win because you're a freak.
All right, this is very fitting considering what we talked about earlier. Someone said, would you rather sit next to a dead guy on an international flight, or would you rather go on a road trip with a dead guy in your car?
Well, I mean, if it's in my car, I'm driving, which means that...
It's a bad look if you get pulled over.
It's a bad look if you get pulled pulled over.
How do you justify that one?
But I have more room between me and I can put him in the back, lay him across the seats, put a blanket over top of him, maybe put some luggage.
I mean, you could put him in the trunk.
You could okay, if you put the dead guy in the trunk of your car, you want to talk about a bad look. You get pulled over, you're going to prison.
Yeah.
You cannot explain away a corpse in the trunk of your car.
I do think the plane is maybe the better scenario, because at least you could complain to people and be like, this dead guy, right?
Can you believe who you get stuck to next to these things? Or like, go hide in the bathroom, I guess.
Yeah.
Just spend the whole flight in the lavatory.
Yeah.
Like, there are options, I suppose, but
then again, could get in the carpool lane.
That would be nice. Have two people in the car, you get to just skip that line.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning to you. Yeah, today's word is canard. Yep, canard. C-A-N-A-R-D. Canard. And it's a false or founded story. A groundless rumor. What's the point in spreading rumors? Anyways, that's about it. Have a great one. Cheers.
My favorite Fleetwood Mac song is Canards.
Isn't it like a duck? Isn't that like a French word? I've never heard it as a rumor.
Oh, La
or
Danse de
anything.
Canards. Isn't that the chicken dance in French?
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I always thought like canard was French for duck.
It's like the ugly duckling, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I'm dating a French girl. I'm gonna get yelled at.
I thought you were going to say I'm dating a canard for a second.
I'm dating a duck, and I'm gonna get yelled at if I get
like,
this
whoa,
wrong.
dude.
Yeah, no, I've never heard it as an unfounded rumor, but I do like that. Instead of gossiping, you're just canarding around with the boys.
Which, it is fitting, because if you're telling rumors, you're being an ugly duckling.
That's very true. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. You got to pretty up and start telling the truth. Just keep your mind out of your own business.
If you catch someone telling rumors, you should just start going, na 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 na, liar, liar.
I mean, even if they don't understand what you're doing, usually when that song goes on, people will either get distracted or annoyed, so it'll work.
Yeah, we all know that one person that just likes talking rumors, just be like, La Danse de Canards, eh?
Big chicken dance guy over here.
Canard, canard, canard. Use it wherever you can. And also, is there any French people that can confirm that that's all true, or are we just making that up?
I'm fairly certain a canard is a duck.
I feel like that's what it is, right?
For more Brock and Dalby,
Tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.